Welcome to this DevOps Enterprise Summit Las Vegas 2020 VendorDome. But this is not a VendorDome, it's a vendor love-in today. I'm Helen Beal, and today I'm going to be playing the devil's advocate. So Jeff, please go ahead and introduce yourself.
Thank you. My name is Jeff Keyes. I run the product team here at Plutora.
And on the other end of the rainbow, Steve, tell us all about you.
Hey everybody, my name is Steve Boone. I lead up product management for our DevOps organization at HCL Software.
And to the audience, we are taking questions live today, so please put them in the Slack channel. That's the Ask the Speaker Track 4 channel specifically, and let's get this party started. So what is the problem, guys? Is stuff really broken, or are people really making a fuss about nothing? Are we saying that everyone's been a bit dumb and we've been doing it wrong all this time? What have we been doing wrong, Jeff?
Well, it's kind of funny. It's fun to be here at the birth of a new category called value stream management. And yet we're at a DevOps Enterprise Summit conference. And I remember walking around the booths last year, and everywhere there was value stream, value stream, value stream. But I don't think people really get what the goal is. They just know it's cool. And so, go get me that tool or some of that. The core problems of value stream management focus on really 4 key areas. One, people still can't see along the application delivery pipeline. They don't know what's happening from idea all the way to production. Well, if you can't see across a single pipeline, that brings you to problem 2. You can't see what's happening at the portfolio. At the portfolio level, you have an additional problem of dependencies, timelines, how they all fit together, and yet they all have to merge going into a production environment. The third core problem of value stream management focuses on the ability to manage, having a control plane, if you will, to manage what's happening across different methodologies. Not every team is DevOps. Not every team is at the same level of DevOps. To be all automated all the way through, but it ain't reality in most enterprises. And the fourth problem is if you haven't solved all 3, for sure, you don't get metrics of delivery and you're not having any system of continuous improvement. I had one of the partners that we have, I remember talking to him last week about one of the problems they were facing in their DevOps transformation. And one of the best messages he said is, we did a lot of really cool things, but we couldn't prove it to anybody. We couldn't show them we'd done better. So value stream management acts as an umbrella to actually handle and solve these problems of visibility.
So we're flying blind, are we?
Absolutely.
We're flying not so much necessarily blind, but I definitely think there's a problem with rolling this information up. Jeff, you talked about this idea of continuous improvement. I think that's exactly right. When we talk DevOps, we always talk about this concept of fast feedback. And to me, the idea of visualizing your value stream or being able to look at your value stream in real time, to me, that's providing you the ultimate feedback loop. And at all different levels, not just at an individual development team level, how we communicate, how we tran and plaque our work, how we can help one another and communicate better. But also when we look at it from an organizational level. How do we identify high-performing teams? How do we know what their best practices actually are so that culturally we can embrace those, we can share those, we can educate other folks? That's been one of the biggest challenges. More and more, I see companies that are turning around and saying, okay, engineering team, use whatever tools you want to be as effective as you possibly can. And that's great, but then you have the problem of, well, how do we make sure from a compliance and security standpoint that all those different teams, all those different applications, the decades of technology aren't putting our business at risk? How can we actually start to validate what they're doing, learn how they're doing it, and really use it as kind of a North Star, right? So that we can start changing conversations from being reactive, hey, what do we think's wrong, to proactive, here's how we're going to go fix it.
So we've been doing this stuff for decades, like you just said. So why haven't we got it right yet? Why do we still need to identify a North Star?
Yeah, I think the big challenge is you've got a lot of large enterprises that would like to be unicorns, right? They want to do true continuous delivery, but oftentimes they feel more like horses. And the reason that is because we are still stuck in CAB meetings. We're still stuck with a ton of regulation that we need to get through. A lot of folks are just, blankly saying, yes, look, we've reduced this number of defects. We've ran these security stands. We've done all of this great work. Somebody approve our release. And that's taking a whole lot of time from some of your most talented and successful people when we're spending, hundreds of thousands of dollars in meetings validating this stuff. When the reality is we have the data, we could look at it, we could trust it. and just start to lean out a lot of the different inefficiencies that we have on a regular basis, so that we can start to trust our processes a little bit more. We can start to trust the data a little bit more, and really start to moving towards embracing, hey, if we're going to do all this time modernizing our applications, embracing Kubernetes, embracing microservices, we should be able to push a button and push those things out whenever we want and have peace of mind of knowing that that's not going off the rails. And I think the only way you can really start to embrace that and celebrate it is if you got visualization of that entire process and you know you've got the right safety checks in place. So then you're not losing sleep over it.
Mm-hmm. I think another problem is we've all been hearing all these benefits of, go DevOps, go, implement CI and implement a new way of testing. It's not that these things are bad. It may not be your slowest and biggest pain point in your entire delivery process. One of the things that value stream management really focuses on is take a look at the whole process. Does it really matter if you take your build time from 12 hours to 2 when you're spending 6 months ideating over the things you should build, or another 6 months to deliver? As you said, Steve, from, it checked in, now it's still 6 months to get through the process. Man, focus on the right stuff. And I think the power of using these metrics to run micro experiments, to run evaluations of those choke points and fixing them, that's where this is all changing. I think there's one other point. We've long had it beaten in our heads that, software development's not a factory. It's not just a simple process. Things are changing all the time. We have to stitch these pieces together. The idea that why not use metrics and tooling and bring this data together is now this big aha, like, I get it. That's what value stream management does. Now I can have visibility. So all of a sudden,